Number 57, the band World Party. Song is Private Revolution. This is not a cover, but this is 1967. This is Summer of Love type song. I love it. But what are your feelings on this song?
I was not too familiar with it until we got the list of songs for this podcast. But I'm so glad it's in my life now. I've watched the video multiple times. They look like they're having so much fun. And Sinead O'Connor with her, she's doing the backup and she's doing those dances and she just looks so joyful, and everybody does. And I think it's just a really beautiful video for a beautiful song.
Nice.
Yeah, I had never heard this one before either. I mean, I knew a little bit about Carl Wallinger. I like the Waterboys, so he was part of the Waterboys, and yeah, this is a good one. And I didn't know about his connection with Sinead O'Connor either, so I was really happy to learn about that. But yeah, this was a new one to me. Not super familiar, but glad to know it.
So yeah, it's worth going down the rabbit hole with them. The first two records are just phenomenal. Really, really, two of my favorites from that era. Yeah, and just had that 60s vibe to it, but still felt present in 1987. It didn't feel like a retro sound to us. It was I loved them. It was phenomenal. Are you into it?
Oh, I love it. I love watching him. And I forgot about Sinead O'Connor in this. I'm not even sure that I ever knew that she had done backup in this, but that was such a treat seeing her. But yeah, I love this. I love this stuff. I like this. I like the Waterboys. I just like him. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you listened to any Waterboys? I guess you said Kari, you had just become familiar with them.
Yeah, I know about them a little bit. I became familiar with them. They had a song on the Good Will Hunting soundtrack in the late 90s. Fisherman's Blues is on the Good Will Hunting soundtrack. And so that's where I first learned of them, and so know some of their other songs. What's the other one? Something about
the moon.
Whole of the
moon.
Yeah. So I know a couple. Yeah, I just know, and we've covered them a little bit, and they're Tim Scott, is that their lead singer?
Yes.
No, not Tim Scott.
Not Tim Scott. Who is
Mike
it?
Scott.
Mike Scott. Okay.
Mike Scott.
Anyways, all of these bands we cover, they just float around in my head. So yeah, I like the songs I've heard, but if you've ever heard our podcast, like when you just said, Dave, you're like, you need to, those two albums are really great. And I'm like, okay, let me write it on this never ending list that every time on the podcast we say, oh my gosh, the song was so great. I want to listen to the rest of this album. And then no, because that
and
list
then she comes to me,
200
she comes to me and she's like, what did I say I was going to listen to? I'm like, I don't remember anything I talked about before today. So I can't help you.
It's horrible.
I look forward to being on your radio show. So, right, the next month or so, I'm going to be listening. I'm going to make some requests.
Okay.
Do you take requests?
Not live, but you can send an email. We'll get it on there for you.